Hello friends, welcome back. So in the previous step we saw how you can create the REST controller, how you can make the class as a REST controller, what is the purpose of the REST controller. Now we will see and create a method and map with the REST API and map with the HTTP method. So we have a four kind of HTTP method generally REST API used. First is the get method, put method, delete method, and get, put, delete method. So we have a four method: get, post, put, and delete. Right. So let's quickly write one method public, and we had created a bin user details info. So let's make a return type user details bin only, user details info only. Okay, and we'll write get uh, user info only, right? And let's return this, return new. Okay, and user information. Currently just do the hard coding, and thereafter we will use the MySQL or S2 database and we'll play with the database. So here we can give like maker id 101. Okay, and the role is admin. Okay, and amount or the tailor amount need to pass like big decimal is there declared, so big decimal dot value of. Okay, and let's put 3000.10, right? That's it, and this method will return, but this method is still not mapped with the HTTP method, or you can say the REST API. So how will you make this? So let's get mapping, right? So the client is requesting to get the data, right? So get mapping will be used. This is for the HTTP get method. So if there is a something posting, right? So annotation post mapping will be used, annotation delete mapping, annotation put mapping. So only we'll play with this four kind of the HTTP method and will mapped. So then let's map this. Here you can just slash and you can type user info. That's it. So this get user info is mapped with API user info. So whenever the client is calling http colon 8080 slash user info, the request will come first to the REST controller, and this controller will forward the request. He knows where it need to route the request, and the request will come over here user info, and this user info is mapped with this method, and this method will get executed then. Okay, so let's see this. So execute this code. Okay, and if you want to print the information, you can print also, but not required to print any logger information and all for now. So let's see and run this your first API user info API using the get method, right? So let's start this user info application. So user info application is running. Okay, I think we need to remove this from the command line runner. We have already learned. Okay, but no problem, make it no issue. Okay, so our info is running, like your application got started. Tomcat server started on the port 8080. Why it's 80802 is coming? Because in the application dot properties we have mentioned 8080. If we are not mentioning, it will run on the port 8080. Okay, so that's why it's running on 808082 port over here, right? So this is our the controller, right? So now use this controller and call this REST API. Sometimes it also calls the REST endpoint. So how will be calling the REST endpoint? Let's see, and use the Chrome for calling this user information. Okay, so go to here and HTTP, let's say localhost. Okay, and we are running our application on 80802 port. Okay, and thereafter slash. Okay, what is the name of our REST API? User info. Copy this, paste over here, and press enter. See here, it's coming, right? So maker id, role, maker amount. Okay, maker role and maker amount. Why the two times this is coming? Because we have added the two kinds of the JSON viewer. So let's remove one of JSON viewer. So JSON Chrome viewer plugin. So let's click this. Okay, and remove one of the viewer. Okay, remove from Chrome, remove. Okay, okay, and refresh this. Now fine, maker id, role, and maker amount. This is what we had put. Now you might be surprised how the client is understanding, how the client is getting the data in a JSON format, right? And second thing, if the client means the Chrome is getting the data in a JSON format, how it's rendering over here. So that's why we had added the JSON viewer, right? If you go here, JSON viewer plugin, right, for Chrome. So if you see here JSON viewer for Chrome, okay, it's already added JSON view offered by Glidas. So that's why it's able to render the JSON data over the Chrome browser. If you remove this, it won't be able to run. So it's depend, like if you are adding the some other vendor JSON viewer, so all the vendor will try to render the JSON data over here. So better to keep the one of the the JSON viewer tool, okay, and do the plugin, right? So that's why it's came over here. So this is what we had put the data over here, maker, admin, big data available. So this is things are coming over here, right? And other thing, how the Spring Boot is transferring or converting this user details info object to the JSON. There is a two steps, right? First thing is Spring Boot is passing the data the JSON format, and once it is receiving, it's rendering the JSON data into the correct format because the plugin that we have added. So that second thing is okay, but first thing, how it's getting rendered, how this object is getting converted into the JSON format, because of this dependence Jackson annotation. Okay, because of the Jackson, it's a library and the tool basically which has got implemented for the Spring Boot, that to convert all the data by default into the JSON format. You don't need to convert, you don't need to create a JSON object and convert the object. The Spring Boot will do for you, and you need to focus only the business logic, right? So and that's what we are doing over here. We are not bothering about any REST controller, response body, how the data need to convert it into the JSON format. All the things is taken care by the Spring Boot. We are just adding the annotation and you are getting the output over here. This is the beauty of the Spring Boot. So that's all for this step. See you in the next step. Bye bye.